Hey YouTube, Herbal Prepper here, and today I'm going to show you how to make a salve. Now, salves are really easy to make. You can make them with one ingredient, or well, you'll need more than one ingredient because you're going to have the beeswax and the oil, but one active ingredient, the reason why you'd be using it, in other words, you can use just one, you can use two, you can use multiple, and today I'm going to use probably 4 ingredients. 2 is active and 2 is boosters. And the reason I'm doing this is because I was just at my parents' house a couple of days ago and they were complaining about pain. Everything from muscle pain, joint pain, bone pain, nerve pain, just about anything you could imagine. So I'm going to go ahead and start. The ingredients are olive oil, and I'm going to use about a half a cup to 3/4 cup of it. Cayenne, which I'm using it for the capsaicin, and this is about 3 teaspoons, give or take. The reason I'm using this is because it is commonly known to help with especially joint pain, just like turmeric, because one, they're anti-inflammatory, analgesic, and stuff like that. So really going to be focusing on these 2 herbs or spices. Usually if they're in powder form, they become spices. Turmeric. Turmeric is amazing. You can take it so many different ways, just like capsaicin. You can take it so many different ways. You can take it, this really focuses on anti-inflammatory, whereas this has a little bit wider of range. You can use this to aid in digestion. This prepares the body for digestion. You can use it for topically, like we're going to be doing. Of course, spices to add heat to everything. The more you add heat to your foods, the better your metabolism works, because you're getting things flowing. If you have anything in your body that's stagnant, stagnant blood, stagnant bowels, all of that's going to cause problems. So turmeric, like I said, is really my go-to for anti-inflammatory. You can capsule this. You can, if you just want to take it and stick it under your tongue, take it sublingually so you can get it into your bloodstream, that's fine, but some people just would prefer to put it in a capsule and take it. You can take it topically, but it's really an amazing spice or herb. It's really a root, it's like ginger, but it's really an amazing ingredient for multiple different uses. This is cinnamon chips, and this is cinnamon powder. This is about, that's about 3 teaspoons too, so they're about the same because they're my active. This is about 1 to 2 teaspoons, and so is the black pepper. Now, I'm using cinnamon because cinnamon is used in lip plumpening, and the reason it's used in lip plumpening recipes is because it brings blood to the area, and anytime you bring blood to the area, that's really good for healing, helps speed up healing, and of course it causes plumpening of the skin because it has more blood flow there. Now, this is black pepper. Black pepper is commonly used in conjunction with turmeric. They aid each other, or more or less black pepper helps turmeric to work better. It helps the absorption, and it just helps it to perform better. So anytime you mix a spice that really goes well with each other, they will help boost the more strengthened one, which is turmeric. It has much more properties that I would be looking for, especially in this recipe. And then the last and final one is beeswax to raise the consistency up of the oil into more of a solid. Now, I use olive oil. You can use almond, which is really the go-to oil for absorption. It's a little bit more expensive than, let me see, it's about a 16 ounce bottle, is about 10 bucks. You can probably get it online for cheaper, but olive oil, if I'm making a large quantity, is usually what I use. So it's up to you guys. Just try to find a cold press oil, and that way it will help also for absorption. Now, I'm going to give you a little bit of advice here. If you want to help with joint pain, you want to increase your essential fatty acids. So these are great, but you also want to include things like flax seeds, chia seeds, anything with like omega-3s or 6s. Those are really good. They've actually omega-6 and 3 have actually been shown to help with RA symptoms, much like these ingredients here have been shown to help with RA symptoms. But people that have autoimmune disorders don't want to take immune boosting herbs because it's already your immune system is basically attacking itself. It's really an overdrive. So you want to take things that are more along a vegan diet, and I promise you, you'll start to see some of your symptoms clear up a little bit, your pain go down, and you'll be able to move better. Alright, so let's get started. And basically what I'm going to do is I have it turned all the way to high. Now, high might be too high on yours, but it's right around where I want it to be on mine. Low is too low. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick a cloth in the bottom of this. Now, how do you know if it's too hot? You don't want it boiling. Good rule of thumb is if you can stick your finger in there for like maybe a second or two, and then you have to pull it out. If you can stick your whole hand in there and kind of hold it in there, it's not hot enough. So let's test it. Yep, that's about right. Okay, so I basically am sticking this into my crock pot to prevent my glass from busting. And I have a wooden skewer here to stir it. So at this point, we're just going to take the spices and pour them into the oil. So there's my 1 to 2 teaspoons of black pepper, about 1 to 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, and my about 2 to 3 teaspoons of turmeric. And anytime you can get freshly ground ingredients, that's always the best, because anytime you break open anything from a whole to a powder, it starts to release its properties and loses its strength over time. And this is the about 3, maybe a little more, capsaicin, or cayenne actually, sorry. The capsaicin is the ingredient active. So then you just want to kind of stir it up, and you want to get it good and stir it up. And then basically at this point you just let it sit after you stir it up really good. And I always like to fill it. Right now I'd have to go back and refill the water, but I fill up the water to where the oil is. So I'm probably going to go in here and fill the water up a little more. And I'm just going to let this sit, and I'm going to come across it occasionally, stir it, and then when it's done, I'll add my beeswax. Oh, I'll strain it, excuse me, and add my beeswax. Keep it smooth and blend it in, and then that's it. I'll pour it into a container, and that's about it. But I'll show you guys that step when this is done. Okay guys, so basically this has been sitting overnight, and all I did was take it out of the mason jar that I originally started it in, and I strained it through the a cheesecloth or a shirt or something, just to get all of the pieces of the pepper and everything out of it. And then you want to add your beeswax, and from that point you can put it on another heat source to get it going again, because you need to melt all that beeswax. And come on, I'll show you how to do that. So basically what you see in here is beeswax pellets, little small pieces floating in there. Now I used about 1 ounce. This is a 2-ounce ramekin, and I filled it halfway. Now you can do less beeswax if you want it a consistency more like a lotion, or you can do more beeswax if you want it more hard, and that way it doesn't rub up against anything and it doesn't melt as quick. And when I mean rub up against anything, if it's thinner like a lotion, as you are using it, it will take a little bit longer to kind of soak into your skin. Now if you put too much beeswax, you can actually prevent it from soaking into your skin, because beeswax actually builds a barrier and a protective layer on the skin, and I don't want that. I just want it to be kind of a thick consistency, almost like those little things that you would use. I see them at Walmart, people that work at registers or deal with cash a lot. They will take their hands and rub it on it, and it actually gets their hands moist so that they can sift through the bills rather than it just kind of running their hand off. I don't know what that's called, but it's basically just a salve. And so all you do at this point is just continue stirring it until all the beeswax melts. And you need to have all the beeswax melted. I mean, it needs to be completely liquefied. And then you just take it off the heat source and set it in the room and just go about stirring it every now and then. And once it hardens up, you have your salve, and that's it, guys. Well, I hope this video is a blessing to you and yours, and let me know how you like it.